G'day campers, fucking Millsy here. Had a few questions. What's happened to the Bedford? Why haven't we seen it again? Well, I'll show you why. Shitbox. Anyway, day 2 Powercruise. First of all, I thought I might turn it up on the second day, so we only had it set to 3 out of 12 on the boost, about 29 psi on day 1, and it was running pretty well. But day 2, I crept up on the rotary dial, and unfortunately it didn't respond. It didn't feel any different. I wasn't quite sure what was going on. You know, it's not like I've had a lot of time driving this thing, so I kind of just, you know, it was still fun to drive, and plenty of people having a laugh out there, so we just continued on and went from there. Anyway, so got it home after noticing a little bit of a transmission leak. So you'll see there it's a bit of Dextron 3 leaking out of it. And I thought I'll have a look at the extension housing, have a look at the seal in there, and that's where it's leaking from, and it was actually all up the back of the car. So that was pretty disappointing. Oh, like, well, what's caused it? So after looking further, just happened to have a look around the front here, and unfortunately spied this. It'd be hard to tell from the camera angle, but that balancer is pushed forward about 25 mils. So obviously the whole engine's moved forward quite a way, and unfortunately that's due to the engine mounts, particularly this one here that's copping the heat off the manifold and turbo. Even though, as you can see there, I've wrapped the turbo, wrapped the manifold, and put a nice heat shield on it, kept the heat away from the car because it does make a lot of heat. Unfortunately that was a bit detrimental to the mount, and you can see right there where the casting has passed over the top of the bolts and chewed it away pretty badly. So it has moved quite a lot. As I said, that gap at the front's about 25 mils. So that was a bit pretty shit news. So anyway, I had some other stuff I'd bought for the van that we hadn't fitted yet, and is keen to get fitted. I had a mate lined up to buy the old turbo. As you can see, it's not there. So as soon as I took the cover off, he come over, I said, let's pull the cover off. It's about a half-hour job. And unfortunately, when we did that, that's what we saw. Yeah, it's buggered, absolutely buggered. Took it to Pro Boost, Granite Pro Boost, checked it out. Not quite sure what's happened. He doesn't think it's ingested anything because there's no damage on the inside or the lower part of the blades there, but hard to say. It's had an air filter on the whole time, so I just don't know. Over boosting maybe, but it's only run 40 psi probably 3 times, and that was all on the dyno. It didn't get anywhere near that at Powercruise, so that damage could have actually been there prior to Powercruise. We just don't know. But yeah, I was not too concerned. Well, I was concerned, but I did have this arrive. G45 1500, apparently a lot more flow on the turbine, so that's what I'm looking for. We hopefully push that horsepower up another 100 or 150 or so if it's not choking up. If you remember from the dyno video with Sunny from Windsor Exhaust, we were, I think, about 40 or 50 psi back pressure on the turbine, so hopefully that's will solve a little bit of that issue. Right, so as I said, pretty disappointing, but there's more things to do as well. So in regards to the engine mounts, let's get the light on here. I'm going to get my brother Dave from Miller Chassis. He's going to whip up some new mounts. So to do that, we're going to use this dummy shitbox Barra here. My neighbour actually dropped it outside my shed about 6 months ago because he heard I like Barras. I'm like, oh, what the hell am I going to do with this? So it's sat out there and getting seasoned. Apparently BMW left blocks out to get seasoned for during F1 in the mid-80s, so probably the same thing. So yeah, it's probably going to be a good block now, but not going to use it. It's going to pull the crank out, obviously got the caps off. And we're going to also modify the oil pickup a little bit, so, and a bit of a new sump design. So yeah, Dave needs that in the car so he can fabricate up the new stuff. Whilst he's got that, Robbie from Abbott Engines is going to have a look at the Barra here. He's going to pull the bearings out, check everything's okay. Fingers crossed nothing from that compressor wheel's made it past the intercooler and into the inlet and done any damage. But the intercooler is going to get replaced. Okay, unfortunately 1600 horsepower plasma man intercoolers aren't cheap, but I'm not prepared to risk it. So that's what's going to happen there. We've got a few things to do moving forward. I'll be honest though, you know, this sort of stuff happens, alright guys. This is when you do different stuff and, you know, whatever else, but that's not to say it's not really disappointing. It was, you know, this was a year and a half of me working 3 jobs to pay for stuff, and to only get, you know, a day and a half out of it was just mentally really challenging. That's why I haven't touched it. I really looked at it for a while. So that's what's been happening. Also, we've got the inlet manifold up here. Obviously, not obviously, but on the dyno, part of that back pressure problem may have also been the inlet. Very long runners on the BF, as you can see there. Most aftermarket ones are quite a short runner with a bit more volume in the actual plenum itself. So we're going to redesign that to get a bit more volume and shorten the runners up. Don't want to go too crazy on the runners. You know, want to keep a little bit of low down torque there, but definitely, you know, it's probably holding it back up top. And you also see there the harness hanging down. That's for the second lot of injectors. So the new manifold will have the bungs there for 12 injectors instead of 6. So plans are happening. You know, get it done, but to be honest, it's probably not going to be till probably mid next year by the time I can really afford to get everything done. You know, best case here, we're probably talking 20 grand. Best case, all right. But got to keep working. But yeah, anyway, there it is. And it's probably change that engine over shortly, and then I'll get it off the hoist. It's disrespecting the space in here, so we'll get it happening. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Please forgive lack of skills. I'm literally holding a GoPro in my hand and a torch in the other hand. So I probably should have got my kids to come up and help out with this. It probably would look pro. But anyway, I'll see you campers later.